What is up, guys? It has been a moment since I have done a video on this channel because I didn't really think anyone was still watching this channel for whatever reason. But recently I've gotten a bunch of requests to do any sort of fucking video, so I haven't made a video for this channel in like I think a year or two because I didn't really think anyone was still watching it. But every so often I get people that chime in and say, "Oh, I want to see more videos from your Valley River Arms channel," and I'm just like, "Oh, I didn't think that people were still watching this." So I'm just gonna throw something together really quick because people seem to be looking for new content out of this channel for whatever reason, and I got some things that I want to say about different airsofty topics, none of which are really that tech related right now because to be perfectly honest, I haven't really worked on a gun in like a year, so like seriously worked on a gun in about a year, so like my primary hasn't really changed. I mean, I've gotten new guns here and there, like I did get one of these APS Cam 870s just for fun, but not really to work on. Same thing with this WeTech gas blowback, but they're more just for fun toys as opposed to like actually working on them. So today I want to talk to you about pistols, more specifically the Tokyo Marui Hicapa 4.3. Hicapas in general sort of fall into this category too, but let's just talk about the 4.3 for today. Now I'm titling the video the title that you see below because I believe that the Hicapa 4.3 is the best airsoft combat pistol ever invented, and I'll explain why. Now you might be asking yourself, oh, why not a Glock? I love my airsoft Glock. Well, I'll tell you why. Now first of all, the 4.3 is a good sized handgun. It is what I believe is to be the perfect size for an airsoft pistol. I have this gun actually started off life as a 5.1. I've since bought a replacement mid-frame and other components on it and slide and stuff like that to make it a 4.3, but it started off as a 5.1. However, in my personal opinion, the 5.1 for airsoft combat applications is too long, and the reason for that is, and you can do this if you go to a store or if you have a 5-inch 1911 style pistol and a smaller commander size 1911 style pistol hanging around, and compare the two. So for me, the reason why I realized that I like the 4.3 better was that when you went to point with it, or if you're coming up, or if you're coming around corners with it, or if you're trying to angle and maneuver with it, the extra like inch or so on the end of a 5.1 is a little bit more cumbersome. The 4.3 is quicker to bring up to target, it's quicker to go around corners, it's quicker to maneuver with, and some people will disagree with me, but whatever, you're not making this video, so I don't care. And if you notice, for the people that like Glock pistols, it's very similar in size in the slide length, and it's a little bit longer in the grip. But the other reason that the 4.3 Hicapa is such a good pistol, especially over the Glock style pistols, single stack 1911 pistols, and other pistols out there, is magazine capacity. Now the 4.3 is a little bit longer in the grip than the Glock 17 and definitely the Glock 19, but what do you get for that trade-off? You get a magazine that holds like 30 plus 1 rounds. 30 plus 1 rounds. The Glock 17 magazines hold about like, I think it's 24 plus 1, 25 plus 1. So you get an extra 5 rounds out of a normal sized Hicapa magazine. Now they do make extended magazines. They have 38 round magazines, they have 50 round magazines, so you can do the extended magazines. Yes, I know you can get extended magazines for the Glocks and stuff like that too, but we're talking about normal sized magazines that will fit inside your pistol without hanging out when you have it holstered, and will fit inside normal size mag pouches. Now also talking about the magazine, the second reason why I like the Hicapa magazine so much is because it's big, and because it's so big it has a large gas chamber on the inside. A lot of you who are familiar with single stack 1911 pistols, you'll notice that especially if you're rapid firing, or if the gun is old, or if some of the seals are old, you won't get through a full magazine of BBs, and sometimes that's only about like 15 BBs for the WeTech 1911 magazines before you run out of gas, and that's really annoying. At least for me, that's really annoying. I like having that last shot hold open on my pistol so that I know when I'm out I can go reload and stuff like that. The Hicapa magazine is big enough to accommodate gas for the entire 30 rounds in the magazine, which again, a lot of rounds for the size of the magazine that it is, still fitting inside the pistol grip and normal size magazine pouches and whatnot. Another reason why the 4.3 specifically is such a good airsoft combat pistol is because it comes with a built-in rail. Now, I'm just going to talk about this addressing the stock Tokyo Marui models of the Hicapa series. the 4.3 and the 5.1. If you compare them directly, the 4.3 already comes with a rail molded into the mid frame itself. On the 5.1, you could say that yes, it does come with the rail section, but you need to knock out two little molded pieces of metal in the mid frame in order for you to screw together the rail for the light attachments and stuff like that. That to me is kind of a bummer, because this comes, you know, as it is. I can easily just go ahead and attach like a TLR1, any other light or laser I'm looking to do that. I don't need to do any modifications to it, and it looks clean. It looks like a clean design that was designed to go along with the pistol, and for me that's a big deal. But despite me bagging on the 5.1, the 5.1 is another reason why I like this pistol so much, because so many people like buying the 5.1 and turning them into race guns and stuff. There's a plethora of aftermarket parts available for this gun. I'm going to go out and say that this gun right here has the most aftermarket parts available for any airsoft gun on the market. And I think that the Glock is the only one that, the Tokyo Glock is the only pistol that comes in. Second to that, maybe the KWA style Glocks beneath that, but overall the Hicapas have the widest variety of aftermarket parts. Just go, you can build a Hicapa from scratch if you really wanted to. You can build, I can buy every part on here aftermarket, yeah, every single part on here aftermarket, and build it from the ground up, and I don't even have to buy a base gun. I recommend you do buy a base gun, but I'm just saying you can build this gun from scratch if you wanted to. And that for me is a big deal, because in case any part breaks, in case I want to upgrade any part, in case parts start to get old, I have complete replaceability and fixability with this gun. And with that upgradability comes with performance upgrades. There are so many different kinds of accuracy upgrades and inner barrels, inner barrel modifications, hop-up chambers, hop-up buckings, gas seal improvements and stuff like that that come with the aftermarket, that you can really upgrade these to shoot really well. Like probably some of the best shooting airsoft pistols in the world are built off of Hicapa design. Now going on to another one of the design advantages that the Hicapa has is their hammer spring mechanism. So the hammer spring in this case is a spring that looks like this, and it's coiled up inside your main spring housing here. And because this spring punches upward as the hammer drops, and because it's a relatively large spring and there's a lot of coils on it, it generally doesn't tend to wear out that easily. Or if it does, actually, to be honest, I don't really think I've worn out any of my hammer springs yet. But I guess in relation to like hot days and stuff like that, because if you leave your magazines out with a full mag of gas on a hot day, sometimes, at least with the Glock style pistols, the coiled hammer mechanism right here, it's a very tiny spring, it's only got like 2 coils on it or so. That spring sometimes does not have enough power, nor does it have enough coiled energy to knock the release valve or the output valve in the magazine. And I've seen this happen with airsoft Glocks, I've seen this happen with airsoft M&Ps, anything that's like using one of these striker fired look-alike designs for the gas pistol on a hot day is not 100% reliable. However, I have shot on the same temperatures my Hicapa, and it's gone off. Granted, what happened when I fired it on the hot days was that the stock Tokyo loading nozzle exploded. But the point being is that the gun successfully went off, which is something that I can't say for any of these pistols here. They tend to choke in hot weather, and for that reason, again, 4.3 is dope. And let me get to one of the only complaints that I have, or one of the 2 only complaints that I have about this pistol. First of all, it's very hard to find holsters for these guns. However, I do have solutions for you. If you look for STI 2011 holsters that are molded hard shell holsters, they will fit. This is a G-code 2011 holster, locks and fits just fine. However, the big problem that I'm having right now is getting a light bearing holster. You have to get it custom molded, or you have to go with an option that, figures out a way to bypass, having to lock in at the trigger guard, or it has to be a custom molded solution, something like that. That's kind of a pain, and I totally get that. Usually what I do personally is I keep the gun like that, and then if we're going to be doing stuff where I'm going to have a light on it, and I know I'm going to be using it as a primary, then I just pull this out by itself and then attach the light and just screw it down, because it doesn't take that long to attach the light to it. The second issue that I have with the Hicapa is that for a lot of you guys out there that are playing milsim, this is not a very milsim gun. And it sort of irritates me because this is the best performing option that's out there on the market. But because, and the reason why these will never take off as hard, I guess, as some of the Glock style pistols and stuff like that is because there's no military that's using 2011s as their standard issue pistol. I mean, I guess you could sort of say that the Para P14 is like sort of looking like a double stack 1911 that's sort of like a duty pistol, but not really. Like, no one's using these as their standard issue pistols, especially not raced out like this, and I just did that because I don't care. But that'll be a problem where you're like, oh, it's not authentic, oh, it's not like kosher with my milsim loadout or whatever. But you know, people are at the same time are getting pistols like these and then going on hot weather and be like, oh, but it's not going off, why isn't it firing, this thing sucks. So yeah, I would say get over it and just go with the option that works. Other options on the market that are great are like some of the other 1911s that have been using CO2 now. I know a lot of you will say, oh, well, the Hicapa, you know, the one that you're holding doesn't take green gas. Well, or it doesn't take CO2. Well, it does take CO2 if you buy a CO2 magazine and you upgrade the internal so that it can stand that. There are plenty of good options out there for Hicapas, and maybe not the 4.3, but Airsoft or Armor Works Custom makes plenty of great 5.1 length pistols. You deal with a little bit extra length on them, but those are some great pistols for the money. You don't have to necessarily go out and buy a Tokyo Marui and stuff like that, but stuff like those guns can take CO2 magazines out of the box. The Tokyo Maruis, you need to upgrade a couple things on them to make sure that they're, you know, stand up to that sort of power and stuff like that. But if you run them on green gas, you know, you should be fine for the most part. Now there's some other Airsoft 1911s that I could also say are pretty good contenders for being reliable pistols. Stuff like the CO2 powered KWC variety of 1911s, like the Elite Force 1911s, that sort of stuff. I've seen them work pretty well because they use the same hammer mechanism and have a large CO2 capsule in there that makes sure that you finish off all the rounds in the gun. You know, that's cool. But it doesn't have, even then I would argue, it doesn't have the same aftermarket that the Tokyo Marui Hicapas have, nor does it have the same magazine capacity out of the box. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video about the Tokyo Marui Hicapa 4.3 and why I think it is the best airsoft combat pistol in the world. If you guys have any comments, complaints, critiques, bitching and moaning and stuff like that, leave it in the comment section below. Let me know if you guys want to see more videos and stuff like that. Airsoft videos are really not a priority for me right now, so I can't guarantee that I'll do more of them, but you know, if I feel like if I have a random free day and stuff like that and I have a lot of stuff to do, I might upload another one. Who knows? But anyway guys, thanks for tuning in. I will catch you later. Peace.